Reality in your case, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're using drugs while on bond? Are you kidding me? You have no sense of the importance of sobriety after all of this? And there are some people just like you who can't follow the bond conditions, and they're sitting in jail, which, I don't know if it was me, a day in jail, you can't have that back. And it's a day without freedom, and it could last a long time. But these are choices you make.
Judge, we are waiting on test results from one of our experts in this case.
Last time we had this, we had last setting that it said that would be the absolute last announcement setting. We just go ahead and set the trial.
Set the trial.
Please, Judge.
All right, set for trial. What about the safeguards we have as conditions of bond here? What are they?
So you're not driving.
No, I don't.
She doesn't.
She's not allowed to drive.
It's one of her bond conditions. She's not. And her father is here. He drives her.
What about using drugs or alcohol? Do you use drugs or alcohol at all? So where do you live with your family?
Yes, sir. With my 2 kids and my dad.
Ma'am?
With my 2 kids and my dad.
All right. Well, get a resetting, set it for trial.
Yes, sir.
And then just have a seat over there as well. Thank you. Before you leave. Robert Strahan. Reality in your case, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're using drugs while on bond? Are you kidding me? You have no sense of the importance of sobriety after all of this? All right. Brian's not going to fix the mess. Mona, what's her bond?
Ms. Abshar's $30,000.
Okay. And you are Carly Absher in 22-40965. The court has ordered a urine test, which tested positive for THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, or marijuana. And one of the bond conditions is do not use drugs, and you're to submit to tests for alcohol and drugs at whim of the court. And under the with what you were charged with this, which is intoxication manslaughter.
If this courtroom trial has you hooked, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more intense trials and shocking outbursts. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks.
And now testing for drugs. Here's what we're going to do. Your bond is revoked, and your bond is increased it's doubled to $60,000. You must have a drug patch as a condition of bond. Do you have some kind of a device for alcohol?
She didn't drive the car. She didn't.
Well, of course, if you happen to drive a vehicle, you would have to have a an interlock device, but if she doesn't have a vehicle, then it's just easy for the court to say, do not operate a motor vehicle until further orders of the court. But the next time, it'll be $120,000 until it gets to a point where you're sitting in jail until all this. And Mr. Gertz just tried a case yesterday that had taken 3 years to finally get to court because of the backlog we have. And there are some people just like you who can't follow the bond conditions, and they're sitting in jail, which I don't know if it was me, a day in jail, you can't have that back. And it's a day without freedom, and it could last a long time. But these are choices you make. And my advice is quit whining about it and show the character and strength that you should have to make the correct choices. Well, do it. Unless you're unable to make the right choice. So these are pretty simple, straightforward choices, especially in light of what's hanging over your head here for this charge. I can't imagine. Fortunately, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it happens, we have to make something, it has to have a consequence that's adverse to your freedom. And are you employed somewhere? Yeah, which means to get out of jail, someone else is going to have to pay for it. It's going to cost thousands of dollars. That's what these bad choices, it costs you and or others as well. The thing, I'm just going to take one final step. You have to appreciate and understand that you're not on this planet alone. You got others, right? 7 billion others. We rely on each other for making good choices so that we can have a full life safely. And you got family and friends, I presume, who care for you very much. But they're not going to be able, they're not going to, by law, they can't sit in jail while you're making mistakes. You're a grown up and you have to make the wise choices. And you have to realize that bad choices have consequences. I think you're able to make the right choices. Well, why aren't you making them? Do it. See, there's some people in here who are hopeless. They don't have any hope. Like they're going to make every time they have a chance to make a bad choice, they're going to make a bad choice. I don't think that's you, but these are important mistakes that you have to fix. And you have to remember that your life touches other people's lives as well. Okay, well, fix that. Do it immediately and do much better. Especially if you're capable of it. That's what's frustrating to me. It's like, but you've got to, like I and everybody, Mr. Gertz, your family, everyone, we all are held accountable to the choices we make. So make better choices than you've been making. All right, that's the orders of the court, and you're treated similar to everybody else who's in the same situation. Okay, we've got one more test going on in the back. Do we? I think so.
Yes, and I need to fingerprint Mr. Shaw and then.
Signed up to.
She's translating.
Yeah, she's going to be my translation. When he speaks, won't hear. Just translate. The judge says directly. So whatever he says, you say.
What's your name? Ashley.
Ashley, what's your last name? Cooks. Hooks. And then whatever he say, you say. And then whatever he says, just say to the judge.
You finished?
I'm trying to help out.
With all those instructions? Are you Jorge Lopez?
Yes.
Do you speak some English, Jorge? A little bit? You have to speak out.
Let's get them.
Yes? See? Yes, good. Okay. Now, because you're not fluent in English, we have a lady here to translate. What is your name, ma'am?
Ashley,
You got to have a full name.
Ashley Hooks.
All right. And are you fluent in English and Spanish?
Yes.
How did you become fluent in English and Spanish? Did you live in?
I was in Mexico 4 years and my ex-husband's Mexican.
All right. Have you ever been a translator in any proceeding before? For Spanish and English, English and Spanish? All right. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will translate correctly English to Spanish and Spanish into English in this proceeding? As the defendant, Jorge Lopez, is fluent in Spanish, you will, as I ask questions, or if other parties have statements they make in English, please repeat those accurately and properly into Spanish. For the defendant, you will repeat his responses in English for all of us and the court reporter and me. Will you do that correctly? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, lower your hand. Are you Jorge Lopez?
Yes.
Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment in 23 CR 1027? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about April 9th, 2023, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of deadly conduct by discharging a firearm at or in the direction of a vehicle that was occupied by a person, and you were reckless in what you did. Do you understand what you were charged with?
Yes.
If convicted, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand the punishment range applicable?
Yes.
An agreement has been reached where you would be pleading guilty, placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, up to 10 years in length, fined $500. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand? How do you plead to this indictment charging you with this third-degree felony of deadly conduct? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty of what this indictment states?
Yes.
If you're still with us, make sure to like and subscribe to keep up with more shocking courtroom trials. Your support keeps us going. Don't miss out on what's next.
I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1.
It's his signature.
I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document? Did you understand it and discuss it with your attorney?
Yes.
Are the contents true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence
No objections.
without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily being made by you. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you, or you've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, and cross-examination of witnesses at trial. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God. Is that so?
Yes.
Fine. Are you a citizen of the United States?
No.
You understand that a plea of guilty to a felony offense and being placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, or being convicted of a felony offense, can subject you to deportation or affect your ability to remain in the United States and also to enter into the United States at later times. Do you understand that?
He said yes.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Do you insist on pleading guilty nonetheless? Also, we, in the United States, we welcome all persons who want to enter the United States legally. But you're not supposed to come in as our guest and make a mess. This is a third-degree felony where you're shooting a firearm in the direction of another person. Do that in your own country. Don't do that here. If you have to do that, that's against the law. You are a guest. Treat us with respect and follow the rules we all have to follow. Do you understand?
Yes.
My relatives, I'm third generation American. They came, my mother's side immigrated from Italy and Greece and from the Mediterranean. They followed the rules. They matriculated in and became wonderful citizens, law-abiding. None of them were ever arrested. They understood that America is not to be abused. We're supposed to live together peacefully. Can you do that? You didn't do it there. Anything further?
That's it. Thank you.
If not, again, I find that there is sufficient evidence from State's Exhibit 1 to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have pleaded guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. I am going to follow this agreement and place you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years. You are fined $500. You must register properly with the immigration officials That has to be done immediately.
He could have been.
And you submit proof of your registration to immigration officials, to the probation office. That is a condition of probation. I want that done within 10 days. Do you understand? What's a term of probation? You were ordered to follow that as well. Bienvenidos. Welcome, but don't make a mess and hurt other people. Anything else? That is all.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Judge.
Where do you drive it?
What else? Do I have anybody else? Here. Thank you. Here's Mr. Lopez. I've got a couple of. I've got an Aaron Cotton, but we already did that one. That was with Tom Burbank. And then I have Destiny Hearn. I don't know. I don't even see that one. Here.
This courtroom wasn't just about two people making mistakes. It was about what happens when accountability meets opportunity. Judge Stevens didn't just enforce rules. She gave out warnings wrapped in wisdom. But do people actually learn from them? Or are they just buying time? Let us know in the comments. Should bond be revoked after one violation, or do some people deserve more chances? Thanks for joining us and witnessing this intense courtroom moment. If this trial got you thinking, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more gripping courtroom moments as we continue to bring you the most shocking trials. See you in the next one.